Have you seen Star Wars?
Another day, another Star Wars debate among the Star Wars fandom. Recently, Daisy Ridley, who plays Rey, talked about the constant changes to her lineage from Episode 7 all the way up to filming for Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Here is what she said. At the beginning, there was toying with an Obi-Wan connection, there were different versions, and then it really went to she was no one. Then it came to Episode 9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy, and I was like, awesome. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, oh, we're not sure, so it kept changing, so then even when I was filming, I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be. It does sometimes surprise me that the fanbase gets so angry about this kind of stuff in news, considering it's topics that we've already talked about and already known for a few years now. I had a lot of faith in J.J. Abrams when it came to Episode 9, and I personally was repaid with a mess of a film that didn't even deserve the title of Star Wars. From the start of The Force Awakens, the question the film made the audience ask was, who are Rey's parents? And then in The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson made a bold yet correct story decision that her parents are no one. This move annoyed me personally because it makes me look at The Force Awakens and say, well then why the hell did you even ask who her parents are if they are no one? I'm fine with the message that you don't have to be related to someone to be powerful in the Force, that's kind of how the Force works, but don't ask a question you're not going to give me the answer to. But then after The Last Jedi ended the Rey's parents debate, The Rise of Skywalker decided it didn't like that answer and made Rey the granddaughter of Palpatine. Or is she the daughter, since her dad was a clone? Honestly, I don't know, and I don't think anyone knows at this point, but who the hell cares? JJ pitching the idea that she was going to be a Rey Kenobi annoys me beyond relief, because I want Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, to remain a pure Jedi, who doesn't have kids or grandkids. It seems like JJ had this skewed ideology of how the Force works, that you have to be related to someone with the Force to use the Force. Also the fact that they clearly and truly had no plans on who she was meant to be, like, at all. I get that stories can change over time, and mainly while you're filming, but when the hook on Rey's character since the first movie that she appeared in was who is this girl and who are her parents, I feel like to not even have an answer for that question and just kind of let the next two films figure it out for themselves is truly a lack of proper storytelling on the part of Lucasfilm. Don't forget, Colin Trevorrow was the original director for Episode 9, and he was basically making up his own version for who Rey's parents were. I think she was going to be called Rey Salone or Rey Salona. I think it's Salone, but we'll just go for Salone. I don't know. So we basically have 4 different Reys that were going to be, or could have been, in the sequel trilogy since 2015 all the way up to 2019. Rey Kenobi, which is a stupid idea, Rey Palpatine, which is a surprisingly worse idea, Rey Salone, which is just a disappointing idea, and Rey Nobody, which is the most logical answer that really is just a waste of time since you made me ask who she is from the start. I'm ready to just end this whole sequel trilogy talk at this point. I really liked The Force Awakens when it came out, and it made me really excited to see where this trilogy could go. Then The Last Jedi released, and it took my excitement and started to preach to me that my childhood hero was actually a failure the whole time. I constantly said throughout 2019 that Episode 9 could be like the sequel's version of Revenge of the Sith. It's not perfect, but it can really save the trilogy from the previous 2 films and their faults. I constantly said that JJ could do justice for the trilogy, and it turns out they really should have just let Colin Trevorrow direct the film. Hell, maybe even let Rian Johnson direct Episode 9, since he clearly actually wanted to take the story in some sort of an interesting direction. Even if there were no plans after The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson made that crappy bed of a story, so he might as well lay in it and fix it himself. The trilogy was just disappointing, and it kind of felt like a big waste of time, instead of planning out a story that can really drive home that classic Star Wars message that we all know, that we have a destiny and there's a higher calling to life that we saw in the original trilogy. Instead, we got a rushed 3 films that jumped from director to director with numerous behind-the-scenes production issues that focused more on the message that Star Wars is back, instead of actually telling a story worthy of the name Star Wars. If you like the sequels, hey, good for you. I'm glad you can find some enjoyment out of these films, but at this point for me, they're just exhausting to talk about. Everyone's been saying the same thing for years at this point. Mahler's still making a 3-part, 3-hour video essays on the film that came out in 2015. Theory is still reacting like a child to every little bit of sequel news, and Star Wars Only just does not give 2 shits about any of it anymore. Rey Kenobi, Rey Palpatine, Rey Salone, Rey Nobody, more like Rey who gives a fuck at this point. Anyways, tell me your thoughts below. What do you guys think about this constant changing of the guard on who was Rey's parents? From the start of 2014 when they were making The Force Awakens, all the way up to the filming of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I would love to hear your comments below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe because it does help out the channel. I'm Star Wars Only. I'll see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.